Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Jamaican Me. I'm back at it again, and today I'm reviewing The Doors' self-titled album released in 1967. Now, this album is great, like many of the ones I've been covering lately. They're all pretty good, but the reason is that this spawned one of the most influential genres of the 70s and the late 60s, which is the psychedelic rock craze that artists like the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix were all great proponents of. This album really set the wave, and it starts off pretty simple. Break on through to the other side. That song starts off beautifully with the drum intro, and then the bass comes in, and then you're like boom 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 boom. It starts building up, and then you're already enthralled. You're captured for the next 40 something minutes into this album, and most of the songs are relatively short, except for really two on this album. So it jumps between these different ones, but each one stands out because we go from that to Soul Kitchen, which has these great orchestral hits where multiple instruments will hit the same note at the same time. Where it's like in your Soul Kitchen on the beats he's playing the band's playing the same note, and it really stands out. And then the Crystal Ship really brings a mellow feel to the album, and it lets you know that this isn't just gonna be your typical hard rock, or not even a hard rock. It's not gonna be your typical rock that's soft or hard. It's gonna be somewhere in between, and it's gonna be difficult to understand, but that's gonna be the point of it. Then we move on to 20th Century Fox does a similar thing to Soul Kitchen, where but instead of in your Soul Kitchen, we have she's a, and in the empty space they hit the orchestral notes, and it works really well here. She's 20th Century Fox, Alabama song Whiskey Bar. This one's weird, but if you listen to it like three times, you'll understand that it's kind of peak. And it's really weird in that aspect because normally you hear a song for the first time and you're like, this is good. First time you hear this song, you're going to be sitting there like, where did this come from? Because it doesn't flow at all from 20th Century Fox, but it really fuels the psychedelic feel, because psychedelics they really send you from place to place, and there's no like concrete place where you're gonna be moving around. And then you get to the most popular song, Light My Fire. Very very great song. Starts off with the organ solo, there's a lot of catchy rhythms and melodies in this album, and then Jim Morrison's vocals on this one, amazing, as you would expect from Jim Morrison. Great worker. Backdoor Man. Right after that, another very solid track. Not much to say about the second half of this album, not as much as the first half, because the first half really sets us up, and the second half just takes us through the next couple experiences. We get to Looked at You, End of the Night, and Take It As It Comes. Those three, those three are really not as significant as the first half of this album. And then we get to the final track, The End, which is terrifying. If you listen to this for the first time, you'll be listening to this whole album. It's all relatively upbeat, even though it's changing from mellow to high. It'll get upbeat, and then just faint drums, and you just hear, "This is the end." And this song's really long too. Light My Fire and This Is the End, or just The End. Both very long songs, but The End is much longer, and it's drawn out, and it's like a whole story in itself. It's a crazy good song. If you're only going to listen to one song off this album, go with The End, because it's a whole story on itself, but it really wraps everything up nice. I'd give this album an 8.5 out of 10, only because there are some parts that I'm not the biggest fan of. Like I said, I Looked to You, End of the Night, Take It As It Comes. It's a little bit, it's not as monumental as the first half, and it's really tough to have a consistent project when you have so many heavy hitters in the first half. But still, I need to, it needs to concede that point. It's a very first half dominant album. Anyway, very great album. One of my favorites. It's a solid one. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. If you guys want me to rate an album of your choosing, let me know. Put it in the description or comments. I'll review it. If you agree with me, disagree with me, tell me about it. And like and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.